It's Coach Britt back again. Last time I was with you, we talked a little bit about the fats and the different types of fats. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about carbs, so the carbohydrates. First off, let's talk a little bit about the healthier carbs and the non-healthier carbs and what the difference is and how the body uses these. Okay, so the healthier carbs, which is our whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, these are digested and absorbed much slower than the non-healthy carbs. So in reality, this makes us more satisfied for longer. Blood sugars are in control, and our body composition can stay more stagnant. Rapid digestion from simpler and higher glycemic carbs is beneficial during like a post workout periods for runners, heavy weightlifting. A slower carb breakdown is more beneficial for that lifelong body composition control. And with that, I know some of our members are numbers people. They want to know numbers. Some people track their food in MyFitPal or other various applications. So when we're looking at carb intake, the average person's minimum carb intake per day should be 130 grams per day. Okay? With the majority of these grams coming from fruits and vegetables, and then some whole grains. Higher amounts of carbs are needed for people that are doing more increased physical activity, have increased muscle mass in their body. However, remember that the excessive carb consumption will be stored for future use. So whatever your body does not use during a workout or during your everyday life, running around, will be stored as fat. What are carbohydrates? What is their main role? Carbs are our body's primary source of immediate energy for all of your body's cells. Okay? So carbs actually cause a release of insulin. We've all heard of insulin, right? A larger insulin response can be beneficial at certain times, such as like after an intense workout, for say. They can be not so beneficial at times, like before we go to bed at night. We don't need a large insulin response right before we go to bed at night. And something that you should know is, although the process of digestion is the same, some people differ in their tolerance and handling of carbs. Some people can handle a little bit more carbs in their day, and some people need to cut back just a little bit to keep their body comp in control. However, do remember that the type of carbohydrates that you're consuming does play an important factor. Because remember, the carbs can come from sugar cookies, and then it can also come from strawberries and apples. Okay, we want to keep it more on the side of the strawberries and apples and the vegetables, green beans, and that type of stuff. Now let's talk about carb reduction in regards to weight loss. So as a weight loss strategy, cutting carbs while also reducing the total number of calories in your day clearly does work well for some people. But here's the thing though, remember that carb reduction costs us. So most of us require some level of carbohydrate to function over the long term. So sure, we can cut carbs temporarily if we need to lose weight quickly, like for say a challenge. But for most of us, keeping carbs too low for too long can have consequences. And this is especially true for those who work out and do higher intensity workouts, like our weightlifters and runners, okay? So if you're sedentary, your carb needs are lower, so you might get away with more restriction in those. But if you exercise regularly, restricting your carb intake too drastically can actually lead to increased cortisol output, which is your stress hormone. It can lead to muscle breakdown, suppressed immune function. You may get sick more frequently. It can lead to decreased thyroid output, decreased testosterone, impaired mood and brain function. So in other words, your metabolism might slow, stress hormones go up, muscle building hormones go down, and you may feel lousy, spaced out, cranky, sluggish, or maybe even sick. And then in regards to women, many women try to eat low carb wanting to be healthier. Yet, because low carb diets can significantly disrupt hormone production, women with too low carb intake, especially those active women that I just talked about, can face loss of bone density, anxiety, depression, other mental health issues, chronic fatigue, disrupted sleep, chronic inflammation, chronic pain, irregular, even stopped periods, blood sugar swings. They may see muscle loss. So for you women out there, those that are lifting heavy weights, those that are out running half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, look at your carbs and make sure you're taking in enough of those healthy carbs, okay? So why are carbs so important? They can alter our energy dynamics, how much energy we have in the day, our brain function. It can also alter disease progression in the body. So overall, they're pretty important, and we don't want to drastically cut them out. So in conclusion, for the long term, cutting out those carbs, drastically cutting out those carbs, are not the best for weight loss, again, in the long term look at things. The logic seems clear and appealing. High carbs leads to insulin, which leads to fat storage. Low carbs keeps insulin low, which should get you effortlessly lean and get that weight dropping pretty fast. And indeed, many people who try low-carb dieting are initially pleased by the results. The scale drops down, right? And they see it drop down, which gets them amped up and fired up. But most of this weight loss initially is actually water and glycogen and not actually fat loss. And what we're wanting in long-term fat loss is seeing that the fat in pounds is going down, okay, and not the other substances in the body. So in short term, it seems that low-carb diets are superior, but when looking at the long term, research says that any differences between low-carb diets and other carb diets actually even out. So look at your whole diet in a whole. Look at your carbs, your fats, your proteins. Next, after this video, I'll be doing one on protein. So then after that, you can kind of take a look at those three main macronutrients. Take a look at your diet and how many of each are in there. We don't, again, keep it simple. We don't want to over dramatize grams and numbers, right? But take a look in the whole and see if all of these are evened out, if we're too low in one area, maybe too high in another area. And if you need help from a coach, reach out to us. We're always here and we'd love to help. So looking forward to seeing you around the gym, and have a great one.